You probably heard the phrase, train like an athlete, but I present to you, study like a nerd. This came to me when I was studying for the end semester exams, which is currently going on. I had an exam yesterday. This thought hit me, why people can't actually study a lot. Through this whole semester, I didn't follow up through the discipline of studying consistently. Rather, what I ended up doing was not studying much and gave myself the struggle of having to study a lot in just a couple of days before exam. I was sat there and I realized I have a lot to study. Then the thought occurred to me, how do the nerds study? The ones who are just obsessed with studying. They want to learn everything that is not even in the syllabus, everything around a particular topic. They want to study all of that. How do they do that? Why do they do that? What's their thought process? And that occurred to me while I was studying. And then I realized they developed this craze, this curiosity for attaining knowledge. But everyone has that. That's what I want you to understand. Everyone has that. I'm really interested to know how the mind works. And also, I'm interested in studying physics. I'm doing a bachelor's in engineering physics. What I've noticed throughout the semester was that I'm studying for the exams, so I'm not enjoying what I used to enjoy while studying the subject. So I basically wanted to redevelop this sense of curiosity, this passion for the subject. And for that, I'd have to consider how the people who are actually obsessed with these subjects study. So I thought about a friend of mine, a classmate of mine, who studies very consistently and is always up to date with whatever's being taught in class. He has all the notes, he knows exactly how to do stuff. And I thought, he probably doesn't find it that hard to study. He likes studying, and even on the days that he doesn't, it's not even that difficult for him to just sit and study something. So what I ended up doing was, I looked at the syllabus and how would I develop curiosity towards studying that. So I looked at whatever I had to study, then I looked for where all these things are gonna go, what field this is gonna apply in, what theories, things like that. And I found myself fascinated by what all things they could have included in the curriculum that is interesting, but they didn't. So I looked up some of that, which gave me enough interest, enough curiosity to go ahead and learn whatever I had to study. This led me to a point where that day was a Saturday. My exam was on Monday. Saturday I'd spent almost 10 hours studying, which is a lot for someone like me who didn't study much throughout the whole semester. This is not a video about studying. This is a video about how you can get to the point where you can become the person that does the habits that you want to do. Does it make sense? You want to get fit, you want to build muscles, you become the person who is able to go to the gym consistently without having much problems, without having much hiccups, without bailing out after 2 weeks of going to the gym. You want to become that kind of person. You become that by developing the interests that the person who does all of that has. That's why they say train like an athlete, because once you go that meticulous with your diet, with your training, like someone who is doing this for a living, you learn them, you study them, you realize that it's not difficult for them to not eat sugar. It's not difficult for them to eat clean. It's not difficult for them to go to their gym, to their training, wherever they train, and go there to a 2-hour train, two times a day, 6 days a week. It's not that difficult for them, because they have accepted the fact that they are going to do it. They're the person who does it. They've come to terms with the fact that that's who they are and that's who they should be. I'm not saying change your identity, become the person, become exactly that person. I'm not saying change your life up and replicate someone else's life. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you know exactly what you want to do and you don't know how to do it. So you look at the person who does it and look at what their interests are. Look at how they developed the curiosity to do those things, the discipline to do those things. Maybe they have something that you haven't found that makes it easier for them. Yeah, it's not even an unfair advantage. It's just something you haven't seen because you haven't looked there. So what I want you to do is look and you'll find. What I found cutting out sugar mostly out of my daily life is that if you don't enjoy sugar, if you don't enjoy sweet things, you won't find it hard to stay off sugar. So I developed this mentality that I don't even like sugar that much, so I don't really mind not eating sugar. And that helps a lot because now you're presented with some sweet, let's say some soft drink or something. You look at it and you're like, I don't even like that. I don't know. I don't even want to drink that. So that's it, done. That's good for you because you know you don't want to drink that. You know for sure. So you develop this dislike to that very thing that you don't want to have. And that helps you in the goal. Isn't that nice? And it is gonna take time. It is gonna be a process. Sometimes it's gonna need cold turkey events where you're like, okay, from today onwards, I'm not gonna do this. Today onwards, I start going to the gym or something like that. Sometimes it's gonna take that, but sometimes you're just gonna have to take it slow. So like, I'm gonna start with 1 time a week, then I'm gonna build up to 2 times, then 3 times, and I'm gonna keep consistent on 3 times in a way that I'm not too sore throughout the week. Then, if you want, you can build it up to 4, even 5 times a week. That's how you do it. You take it small steps, or sometimes your life's so fucked that you're like, fuck it, today's the day, I changed my life, and you start there. Sometimes it's like that. And the obvious fact of life is that it's not always gonna work out. You're gonna start cold turkey, 4 weeks later, you will quit, maybe. But then what I want you to do is maybe next time try the slow build up. Then if it doesn't work, do a cold turkey. But just gotta go, gotta keep trying, and whatever works will work, but it won't work unless you keep trying. I know this sounds like cliche, motivation stuff and all, but the thing is, no one's coming to save you. You're gonna have to do it yourself. Yeah, become the person or not, get your success or not, no one gives a shit. At the end of the day, it's only gonna affect you. So you might as well do the things that you want to do, and you might as well develop the habits, the mindset that will help you achieve the things that you want to achieve. It's as simple as that. And no one else is setting goals for you. You are the one who's gonna set the goals. You're gonna be the one deciding that I'm gonna start going to the gym. No one's gonna put goals for you, then force you to follow those goals. Put goals up for yourself, then become the person that follows those goals because you know that you want to achieve them. It's as simple as that. If you do it for yourself, that's the difficult thing, right? We find it so difficult to do things for ourselves. We find it so difficult to follow through on the goals that we set for ourselves. We find it difficult to be disciplined when it comes to just us. When it comes to the goals we put ourselves, when it comes to things that only benefits yourself. If it's for someone else, you will do better. If it's for someone else, you'll probably do those things. That's what I'm trying to tell you. If you value yourself more, I really hope that you find the things that you should do to get where you want to get, man. And I hope that once you do that you set goals for yourself and become the person who follows that goals so that you get to the place that you want to get. That's all for today. I'll catch you on the next show.